Can you feel it? Feel it?
So the tank itself comes in this nice little packaging. It's by Aspire, as you can see. Let's see if I can throw this open with one hand. Oh, I can. Alright, inside it, I've already been using it, so we're actually missing the coil, but it comes with a 0.4 ohm coil and a 0.2 ohm coil. I believe the 0.4 comes stock in it, and you get the 0.2 ohm coil separately. And while that doesn't sound like a big deal, I'll show you how it hit. Like, you've seen how it hits already, and I'll explain a little more into it, where this thing is just beautiful. But you also get an extra glass piece, and these right here, move that out of the way. These are cool. These are little tops for the tank, if I can get them apart. Yeah. So these are little tops for the tank, so you can actually just customize it. It comes with 4 colors, red, blue, black, and orange. And I know in the stainless steel one, it comes with a black Aspire band. It says Aspire to be on it. And I know in the black one, it comes with an orange Aspire band. So customized to your preference, but it does come in black and stainless steel. I have both of them right here. But yeah, alright, let's get to vaping it. Alright, so a few things about this tank before we really get started. This is a top fill tank, so it does come off at the top. Alright. So opens like that, and that at the top there where the cap screws onto, that's actually the coil itself. The coil runs all the way up to the very top of this tank. So you get all of that, and if you can see it right in there is that entire thing is the spacing for the juice to feed in the coil. This thing, you get juice in it. If you like a wet vape and you like to hit a vape and it just kind of, you really like to taste it, this is a flavor tank for sure. This tank is really, it stunned me when I first tried it. I've been an RDA builder for a long time, and I've been using this tank now for a week straight. Have hardly touched my RDA. Now I'm not saying it's just completely throwing RDAs out of the water, but it does hit very similar to an RDA. It's got a wet vape on it. It's very moist. It's very good, and it's very flavorful. It's very, very surprising to me. So yeah, let's get into actually vaping it. I'm gonna fill this up just because, and we'll get to vaping it. Another cool thing about this tank is that because that coil comes up and screws in there, you can fill this all the way up to the top, to the very top of it. Now right now I have the 0.2 ohm coil in here, which is tested at 55 to 70 watts. I've ran it higher. I have ran it up to about, I was testing it at 100 watts, and I liked it for a little. It dried out kind of quick, so I put it back down to 80. 80 was good. It wasn't bad. It was a little bit warmer than what I wanted. So actually 70, which is surprising to me because I'm not a low watt person, and to me 70 is low. Oddly enough, 70 was the perfect hit to me. Especially on this coil, it hits well and it comes out, and I recommend staying within that range because that is where you'll get the best kick of flavor, the juice will feed right, and everything just goes right with it. But yeah, so everything's good. Let's get to how this really is hitting. Like I said, I'm hitting it at 70 watts on this Laisimo L1. Yeah. That thing kicks out some clouds. I don't know about y'all, but for a tank to push out clouds like that, not losing flavor, and for it to be a moist vape, it's super surprising. It's a very good thing for me. At least for me. If you like a drier vape where you will end up getting a little bit of juice spit back. That does happen with this tank just because it is the large coil and it is a lot of cotton and it feeds very finely. You will get a little bit of juice spit back if you can't deal with that. It's a little bit if you have a tank, but it's still a good hit. It gives out a lot of vapor. It'll definitely suit that nicotine draw that you need if you're trying to look for that more quantity. For big time vapors, those big cloud pushers who are looking for a tank that they just really want to have on one of their smaller devices that they're not really using as much, this is the tank to have. This thing kicks, it kicks well. It's a good warm vape. It's a wet vape. The one thing I do say about it is don't use a juice below, I want to say 80-20, but 70-30. Don't use a juice below 70-30. With how big this happened with the TFV4 as well, with the juice, with the holes that big on the coil, anything thinner than that, it's just gonna flow through, and you'll pretty much leak out your tank. You'll get a lot of juice spit back, and I don't think it'll be enjoyable. I was using a 70-30 originally, and it gave me too much juice spit back for my taste. So I've pretty much been using 80-20s, and it's been running well. And I've enjoyed it. This thing is awesome. It's a solid piece of work. The one thing I do, it's another thing about the coil inside it. When you are putting this coil in, I found out you actually have to screw it in a little bit tighter than you feel necessary. Because if you don't screw this coil in all the way, when you try to take this cap off here, it screws the coil out. And that's not a good thing if you don't like to waste juice. But other than that, that's been the Laisimo L1 200 watt device with the Cleito tank by Aspire on top. I'm Ryan Grimes for Smoking Mirrors. Thank y'all. Have a nice day.
Do you feel the vibe? So it's adjustment. Trust me. Something in the air just above me. Something like a dream state. You call it a clean break. Do you feel the vibes, baby? Do you feel the vibe?